This is Smarter San Diego TV.
Ever considered Pinterest for staging your home? Well, our next guests are going to tell you how it can help.
We always stage our properties. We feel that staging really helps out with the sale of a property. She's wonderful, and I would recommend her to anybody I meet, any realtor I meet.
Please give a warm welcome to the co-founder of Tilton King Real Estate, Katie King, and her guest, home stager, Genesia Sicre.
All right, here they are. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Of course, Katie.
Thank you.
The King.
The King.
Is back.
The one and only.
She's back, and you brought a very special friend
Yes,
today
I
on the
did.
show. Tell us about Genesia.
Yeah, this is Genesia. She is our stager that does all of our homes when we sell properties. We always stage our properties. Once in a while, you'll have a home that doesn't, the clients don't want you to stage or for whatever reason, but she does all of our staging. We feel that staging really helps out with the sale of a property. She's wonderful, and I would recommend her to anybody I meet, any realtor I meet, or non-realtor.
Yeah,
Anybody that needs help. I've referred her to a client that we had that just needed help designing and just getting an idea of how to set up their house after the sale of the home. So
cool.
Yeah.
And I think, and we're going to weave Pinterest into this conversation, which I think it's really interesting. I'm not a pinter. No FOMO.
Me either.
FOMO means fear of missing out, for those of you who don't know. But I've heard a lot of good things about it, especially in the design world, which is basically what you're doing when you're staging a home, right? You're like you're designing it for a short period of time, so that people can see like, hey, might be what it could look like if you came in here and brought your stuff in, or what it would look like if you went and you got new furniture and you set this place up and made it look really spiffy, right? Which is helpful in the sale of a home. So we'll get to Pinterest in a second, but I want to talk about the kind of like what you do when you go to stage a home. In other words, like you walk in, what are the things that you're looking for? What are the things that you're trying to get rid of? And what things are you trying to introduce to the home to help appeal to the buyers?
Okay, usually what I do when I walk into a home, I walk with the homeowner, and we just do a walkthrough throughout the whole house. And then afterwards, I kind of come back and I tell them, and I speak with usually the agents with this also, and we might discuss things like decluttering, needing to depersonalize the house. A lot of times, most people have a lot of pictures, up on the walls. So we want to kind of take down that type of stuff, that might, we want to try to make it feel like not such a lived-in space, but something that's more neutral, so that we can appeal to the most potential buyers that'll walk through the house.
How do you do something like that? I mean, is it just basically about sort of resetting and trying to make it look brand new? Is that the idea? Because brand new would be the only way it would look non-lived in, right? So is that the direction you try to go with it?
Most of the time. So it just really depends on the house. Some homeowners already have a nicely decorated home, but it might be a little bit maybe bland. So I might come in and just add, a few pops of colors. Home organization is really important, that I, try to stress to clients when people walk through the house, if they have, they want to look through closets, they want to look through, kitchen cabinets, stuff like that. So I think organization's a very important thing. And also, if a house has too much furniture in a small space, then that's something that I try to always address right away and let them know we need to, remove this big comfy accent chair. I know that they love it, but it's something that really will make the room feel smaller, and it just takes up so much space. So a lot of things like that I look for to try to help them to just maximize the space.
I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
Doing our reality show, Win This Listing, which somebody's going to be
cool.
on this week.
Yes.
The next episode we're shooting in a couple of days, you're going to be on, which is going to be awesome. One of the things I've noticed in going into these houses a lot of times is that people seem to use every square inch to put a piece of furniture in.
Right.
Once they've lived in a place long enough, you make enough trips to Target and Costco, and you're going to find a place to put this stuff, right?
Exactly.
These places are so packed with stuff, and we're trying to come in with lights and cameras and tripods and all this stuff. So I totally get the cluttered thing, and it makes the house look smaller. For showings, that's no good, right, Katie?
Right. I mean, I feel like when I am showing properties, buyers have a lot of feedback and they have a lot of opinions. And when I go in and show a home, I mean, on either side, but as a buyer's agent, I go in and, I do get a lot of feedback of like, oh, why would they use, I mean, people are people. They're going to be looking at furniture. They're going to be looking at things in the house. That's just how we are. And they're going to notice things like that. But when we come in with a fresh eye and we see, the buyers can see how they can envision their home and how they would be living, it's huge. Yeah. I feel like I get a lot better feedback when I'm showing a home that's staged, whether it's my listing or someone else's.
Okay, yeah, and that
especially
makes sense.
with online photos. So most people are, initially looking online, and if you have a house that's just so cluttered with stuff, when it photographs, the first thing that someone, when they're searching, they're going to see just, well, that square footage is just that house is too tiny for me, and they just move on. So ideally, you want to stage the property before it goes on the market, because your chances are gonna increase. It's like 23 days that it'll spend on the market versus like 128 days if you list it before it's staged.
Interesting.
So it's just a really, really important to have it decluttered, as open as possible before you get it on the market.
So how does Pinterest play a role in maybe what you do or what other people are looking for? Because I'm assuming that home buyers might be people who are looking on Pinterest and stuff like that, so they might be expecting to see certain things, or maybe if you show them things they've seen on Pinterest, they might think it's cooler. I mean, does it really have that much of an effect on the staging process? I think
Pinterest is good for people that already have an eye kind of for decorating and stuff like that. They might be able to utilize that better than the average person. But I would say that I would recommend that most people hire a stager at least for a consultation, and then that way they will give them, the very first tools that they really need, like I mentioned, decluttering, organizing, that type of stuff. And then from there, if once the homeowner gets a general idea of what needs to be done, then they can go on Pinterest and then get little tips and tricks on like maybe how to do a floral arrangement, or how to decorate a console table to make it feel a little bit more lively and brighten up the space. Yeah,
and all those little things can add up.
Yeah,
is basically what it boils down to. What do you say? I'm just gonna go back to King here for a second. So, if we're in a hot market, which a lot of people say we are still in, even though we're heading here deep in the fourth quarter now. I don't need to stage my home. Why would I stage my home when the market's so hot that people are knocking on my door asking to buy it, and I don't even have it for sale? What would you say to someone who is trying to talk you out of the staging?
No one's going to talk me out of staging. The reason why is because Rebecca and we pay for it. So most of the time, so that's your answer.
No FOMO.
I'm giving away some of our little secrets of why we get listings, but we pay for it. So most of the time, people aren't going to say, now I've had one or two where people are still living in there where they say, we have a dog or two, and she has worked magic, and she has said, well, why don't we go ahead and implement some colors over here, take this very simple things, but it is only a benefit to people to stage their property, because it's going to make it look better. It's going to give it vision for others to see what they can do with their home. And it's all around just more attractive. I took some of the statistics from online, and there was something that I read, and I'm really bad at memorizing, so I needed to read it. But according to U.S. Housing and Urban Development, a staged home will sell 17% higher than a comparable home that is not staged.
17%?
17% higher. So when I say we will pay for it, that's great. But when I say it's going to sell for more because people are going to come in and want to pay more for a property, I sure as heck would want to. When I go into a property and I see that it's done and it's beautiful, and the TV would go here and the couch would go here, and it's just all it just looks great. I have more of an inkling to want to push that property as far as even me buying it.
Wow. So can we say that if anyone out there wants to list their home with you, you guys will pay for
We're
the
paying
staging.
for it. Give me the bill. I'll send it to her. She'll take the check. I literally.
That's huge. That's a huge value.
It is a huge value, and a lot of agents actually do not pay, or they don't pay for staging. So they'll charge the commission, and then they'll say, "Great, this is why." And every agent's going to agree that staging helps sell a property and for more. That's given. We have the statistics, we have the proof, and sellers and buyers alike agree as well. So the issue that we have is, okay, well, who pays for that, and why? Where's the motivation to do it? And that's when we say, pick me. We'll do it. We'll make it look great. She'll make it look great, and I'll pick up the tab.
Well,
I mean, come on.
I just, no better way to end the segment, I think, than that. I mean, hey, if you want to sell your home for more, staging has been proven to be one of the things that will help you do that no matter what kind of home you have, no matter what kind of neighborhood you are in. And you get it for free. Well, Tilton King Real Estate. So
come on.
I mean, you can't argue with free. Nothing's for free these days.
Nothing's for free.
That's free. That's actually free.
Right.
Great stuff. Thank you guys so much for coming. Really
Yeah.
appreciate your time. It's
Thank
great
you.
to have you.
Thank you.
Stick around for more Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else, commercial free, no FOMO.